Hey guys, Kevin Downey over here at KD Rep. Thanks for checking in. Today's video is we're going to talk about the number 2 way to prospect for web design and SEO clients. So whether you're a principal at a digital marketing firm or a sales representative, or possibly you do pure lead generation for a web design and SEO firm, this video is for you. Again, it's the number 2 way that we have identified to prospect for web design and SEO clients. Now, the number 1 way, I'm going to link that in the description because I know you're going to want to watch that video as well. This is the number 2 way, and it's extremely effective. All right, it involves one tool online that you can use. I'm going to show you a sample of one of those. There's many out there. Obviously, for keyword research, it's easy to do. But first, let me get out of the way, and I'm going to cut over to our training. I want to go through the scripting process and what we are going to do from a scripting standpoint, okay? So when we're doing prospecting for web design, okay, or SEO, one of the best ways to do it, okay, is to identify a problem or problems within a website, and you're going to call companies based upon that. Now, identifying whom to call, okay, there's a couple different ways, and we're going through the number 2 way to do that today. All right, but our script is really simple. Let's go to, say we have a website that's really deficient in terms of design or page titling or whatever. We are going to call the company and we are going to get to the decision maker within the company that manages or oversees the website. Okay, even if they already have a web design company that they say handles their website. Okay, if there's a problem with the website, then that web design company is obviously not who we want to talk to. We want to take their place because obviously they may not be doing their job. We want to talk about the principal within the company that is responsible for those web design people, for hiring them. So it could be the owner, could be a manager, a marketing director, someone like that. Okay, so that's who we're going to talk to. And when we talk to them, we get them on the phone, our pitch is really, really simple. It's as simple as, hey, Jenny, Kevin Downey from ABC Web Design and SEO is on your website. I don't know if you know this, but for this keyword in your area, you are sitting at number 50 right now. You're on the bottom of page 4. I noticed when I looked at your website, you've got some very obvious things that can be done to improve that. All right, I would like to go through those with you a little bit and then get you a proposal on how we can fix that, solve that problem for you. Okay, so it's a really simple pitch. You want to show them the problem, all right? Show them something. We've talked about this in the past in terms of scripting. Or we want to show them something, get them in front of them, have a genuine conversation, and then simply ask them if they want to solve that problem, okay? And we want to get them a proposal or pricing on solving it for them. It's that simple. Then we're going to ask them to say yes. So that is our sales process and our pitch. It's so simple, all right? Now, again, there's a couple of different ways to attack the market and find those individuals to call on. So I am on SpyFu, okay, and we're going to use the keyword plumbers, Richmond, Virginia, Richmond, VA. Again, it doesn't matter if it's local or if it's national. Obviously, if it's local, when you do your keyword search, you need to use geographic modifiers because obviously we're not dealing with just plumbers and identifying location. We're having to look at the whole United States. So we have to use the geographic modifier, which is used obviously some of the time in local search. That obviously is changing depending on if they're on a mobile device, all that, their habits as a searcher and all of that stuff. Now, there's other tools. I'm on SpyFu just because I like the way that it looks. It's easy to use. You can use, I've used, I'm going to switch over here, SERP Checker, Mangools. This is a really nice one. Let me jump out of the way. This tool is really good. Obviously, you have SEMrush and you have tools, again, paid, free. There's all kinds of options out there, okay? But in the number 2 way to do prospecting and searching for this kind of thing, okay? The number 2 way is to do a search by a keyword. Again, whether it's local search that we're targeting like plumbers and you're doing contractors, lawyers, healthcare, all that fun stuff, or whether you're going after national stuff, all right, you're going to take that main keyword, you're going to do a search, and you're looking at who is not on the first page. That's our target audience, right? Because if you're not on page 1 for the main keyword, then obviously we've got a ranking problem. Right? So we know they can get more traffic. So that's the first identifying problem we're looking at. And so we're going to run this search. And I've got on the free account, I think it's just the top 50, but I think you can get 200 out of this. And certainly on paid, I know on SERP Checker you can do paid, and it's like you get 200 or 500 or something like that for a keyword. So anyway, easy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, and let's just say, for example, we're going to go from 50 all the way up to the maybe middle of page 2, and we're going to look at all the plumbing contractor websites. All right, and one by one, we're going to look to see if we can identify a problem within the website that's very obvious and call the company. Now, if you're a rep that's being hired through us, if we recruited you for a client and you still have to go through some training one-on-one, this is something to pay close attention to, because we're going to work with you on the sales process very carefully, and scripting, and exactly how to approach the market, and reporting, and all the stuff that we do in training. We'll spend a little bit of time on these methodologies for prospecting, but you're going to want to work with your employer on identifying, as a bit of kind of a layperson, identifying obvious ways to find problems within a website as to show why they're not ranking on page 1. What are things on a website that we can look for that are obvious problems? I will tell you the most common thing that I notice is page titling. That is the one we see the most. But obviously you can look at address for local search. You can look at address in the footer on the contact page. Is that there? You can look for content, lack of link structure, mobile responsiveness, tagging within images, all kinds of things that you can look at that don't require you to dig into the code on a website. And you can identify very obvious problems within the website that make it easy for you to make a call. Okay, so let's just look at number 50 and let's see what we find. So I'm going to click, right click on theirs, which goes to SpyFu. It goes to their page. So I'm going to click on that, and I go to Muldoon Plumbing and Heating, okay, serving Virginia since 1974. Their phone number, and this as an image, it's not spiderable text, so that's obviously a problem. I'm always going to check page titles. First thing I notice is that the home page says home. There's nothing to tell Google what the site is about, that they are plumbers, Richmond, VA, plumbers in Richmond, Virginia, whatever we would want to use in that title, a combination of keyword sets. That's missing entirely. So we obviously have a problem right out of the gate that we can call them with. I would not go any further in analyzing this site. I would dial the phone immediately. I would call them, and I would get the decision maker on the phone and ask them about this. Okay, we're going to want to talk to them and say, look, you've got some obvious, easy changes that you can make. We can make these changes for you. We'd like to work with you. Okay, we can do it. And again, in this case, you probably want to look at doing a new website, but again, depends upon a lot of factors. But probably want to do a new website and SEO that rather than mess around with this website. Again, not knowing what it's coded in, okay, or what the CMS is or whatever, okay? So again, just one example. I'm not going to go through all of the sites, but what I want to show you is that when you go through a tool like SpyFu or any of these, you can utilize this tactic to find people to call all day, every day. Any city, any market for local search, any category, it doesn't matter. You identify the main keyword, add the geographic modifier, do the search, and you can start at the bottom of the list and move your way up, because the ones at the bottom obviously need the most help, and they're the most ripe to probably do website redesigns. When you get into some competitive categories like in legal and healthcare, and let's say some of the high dollar contractor spaces like plumbing, page 2 companies are typically going to have some pretty decent websites and SEO done. It's just that they're competing with some really big national players like Angie's List and Home Advisor and Yelp and Roto-Rooter national franchises and stuff. So the ones on page 2 are not always really ripe. Now, certainly you can target them, and we can possibly get them moved up, but there's going to be lower hanging fruit than that. So I always want to start kind of at the bottom and work my way up, okay? So when you're doing your targeting, all right? So hopefully that helps you and that gives you an identification on a tactic that you can use for prospecting. Again, this is our number 2 way. We've got one way that we like a little better than this, and that's in another video. It involves the exact same pitch, but it's a different way to prospect and look for companies. In this case, we're really targeting based on keywords, so we're going to kind of a specific category at a time within a market or on a national scale, again, if we're talking about specific kinds of products or services that are national, okay? So that is how you do it. If you are a recruit through us and you need some help and you haven't done your training yet, make sure you make your calls. If you're going to utilize this tactic, great. Write down questions. Prepare yourself for your training session with myself or someone here at KD Rep. If you are a principal, if you're a client of ours and you're watching this video, great. Glad you got the information. Let us know how you feel about this from a training standpoint and a prospecting standpoint for your rep. Okay, if you're hiring through us, if you are a prospective client or you are a principal at a digital marketing firm and you're watching this, hopefully this helps you. You can use this with yourself or with your reps, or if you need to go through us and find a rep, great. This is a wonderful tactic to go after potential clients, again, in the web design and SEO spaces. Okay, so hopefully this helps you out. Thanks for checking in today. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.